Good afternoon, YouTube. I'm Chucky2009, and today I'm in the greater Chicago area with my buddy Mr. Jeff Nolan here, the one and only, and we are at the headquarters of HTP America. And HTP is a company that sells a wide range of welding equipment, and they also sell a lot of consumables, filler metal, and I understand you all offer a wide range of aftermarket parts and accessories and whatnot as well.
Chucky, that's correct. We offer parts, and I think the unique perspective is the same TIG torches and MIG guns that we put on our machines, we can put on other competitive equipment. So you're getting the same HTP quality torches and MIG guns for competitive welders.
So you're telling me if I have like an old Lincoln TIG machine or whatever, and the torch on it's had some miles on it and it's not holding up so well, I can call you guys and you can put together a torch that'll fit that machine or something like that?
Exactly. So we'll put together a torch package that will plug directly into that welder. So it'll have the correct DINS connection, the correct gas connection, and so on.
And you not only do TIG torches but also MIG guns as well, right?
That is correct, and we seem to get an enormous amount of calls for these Harbor Freight replacement parts, and the biggest problem we have is that Harbor Freight doesn't really give us any cross-reference information, but we have been able to figure out some parts that fit some machines. And what we're going to do today is we're going to go over the installation of one of our aftermarket guns to go on to a Harbor Freight machine. So this is a customer's machine that brought this Chicago Electric MIG 180 wire feed welder item 68886 into us to install a new gun. One of the benefits of having this machine here was we could actually take a look at it and see all the other parts that we might have that fit it. Okay, even this is a pretty minor difference, but you can see they use like a sheet metal type screw. Ours are machine screws into brass inserts, where theirs go right into the plastic. We use a brass block for the gas valve. They use a plastic block. We have a micro switch versus some kind of a contact mechanism. So you can see that the HTP replacement gun is a much better built gun. Additionally, the HTP replacement gun is a 10-foot long gun. So another benefit to the HTP gun is it's quite a bit longer. So the first thing we have to do is remove the screws that retain the gun. Looks like that holds the whole feeder in too. Then we pry off this. This is your liner, and then the other cables go inside the machine. So we have to remove the wire that carries a welding current to the gun, which is this one. Then we push in on this quick connect and disconnect the gas hose. Okay, so now we've got the gas hose disconnected. We're going to pull it out. Then we want to pull the welding current wire out. It's stuck, so let me get around here. Then the last wire we need to get is our trigger wires. And unfortunately, unlike most other manufacturers where the trigger wires are on one connection, they've put the trigger wires with some other connections. So we're not going to have this connection, and even if we did, you got other wires that go to it. So we're going to have to splice our wires in. Now we're clipping this a little further back to give us some extra wire, and these are going to be our trigger leads. Okay, so now we have to feed all these wires from the machine side into the wire feed side, and push everything out the front of the welder, and now we've got the gun off. So you'll notice this is your liner, the wire feeds through here,
These are your trigger leads, which there would be two. This carries your welding current, and this carries your shield gas. Okay, so this is the HTP gun. It's your gas line. It's obviously longer than it needs to be right now. Your liner. This is the wire that carries the welding current that'll bolt right in. And then these are our trigger leads, which will put matching terminals on the other end of this, so these will plug right in. So now we have to feed all this back through the machine. This is all going over to the other side, so it has to pass through the cabinet, through the feeder. Like so. Now, the liner has to be retained in here, and you want the liner as close as possible to these rollers without touching them. So I'm not going to use the power driver because I don't want to strip this out. Just tighten these up snug. So feed the gas hose through. It's a little tough to get it under this wire tie. And then feed it back through the cabinet. And then we'll cut it to length with a razor knife. Feed the welding current wire and the trigger leads down. Make sure you tighten this securely. So now we're going to connect the trigger leads. A couple ways we could do this. We could cut these off with a side cutter, solder them on, but we're going to make it a little bit easier, so these are replaceable. We're going to strip these and put some crimp-on terminals on. And note that these terminals are not included, so you either have the option of soldering or using terminals. Now, like we said earlier, it doesn't matter which color wire goes where, but since blue is blue, we'll just match those up. And plug this back in. And we should be ready to go. So the only thing left is to cut the gas hose to length. And plug it in. So the final thing is to test the machine, make sure that everything works. Looks like our trigger works, and we'll go to welding. Ready?
Ready.
Okay, so for this model 68886 welder, we have replacement nozzles for the original equipment gun, we have replacement tips for the original equipment gun, and we have the replacement diffusers for the original equipment gun. We also have the on-off switch. With a few modifications, that drive roller will work. We also have the replacement wire feed brakes, and the nice thing about these is they will handle both the 4-inch 2-pound spools and the 8-inch 10-pound spools. Okay, we also have a replacement ground cable, and this is a 16mm cross-sectional diameter cable, which is a 6-gauge cable compared to the original equipment, which is 10mm, so there's more copper in this, much beefier clamp. Again, this is a direct replacement for this particular unit. We also have the gas hose and a flow meter, since these are sold as flux cord machines that can go to gas. So we can give you the gas hose and the flow meter and the roll of wire if you want to set one of these things up for shielding gas. And once you buy a replacement gun from us, we have all the parts. We can sell you the tip, the nozzle, the diffuser, the neck, the micro switch. We have a part number on the gun, so when you call us you can identify it with the part number. We'll know exactly what it is you need and what parts fit this. We have replacement liners, the gas hoses, everything. Okay, well Chucky, thanks for coming out here.
It's a pleasure to come visit you all.
Visiting us and allowing us to show you how we do the installation on that Harbor Freight Chicago electric welder with a new gun.
And it looks like you got some MIG wire here as well.
We have
a lot of it.
Plenty of wire, so keep us in mind for wire, tips, nozzles, all that good stuff.
Excellent. It's good to see you as always. Until
right.
next time.
Thanks, Chuck.
Yep.